All right, guys, welcome to the Credit Game. My name is Mike. I have never done this video before, so I want to share with you. A lot of people have been asking this, and I have not done it because I'm not a great and huge proponent of this particular topic. However, I do understand that there are tons of people that utilize this topic and use personal loans, which we're going to talk about on a daily basis. And so what I want to make sure is that you understand how to use them, what they're for. And I'm also going to share with you the 3 best companies that I have found in 2020 and 2021 that are going to help you not only save money, but if you definitely need to use a personal loan that you'll be able to score. So that being said, if it's your first time on the channel, welcome aboard. I'm the only credit person that does this every single day, Monday through Friday. We even do it on Saturdays now. So I want to make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel, because the more you do something, the better you get. And the more you learn the credit game, because it's a game, the better you're going to get at, right? So I want you to learn credit. I want it to be in your head every day. And for that reason, I'm going to ask for 2 things. One, that you would hit the like button if you can find it in your heart, that this will increase the algorithm of YouTube. And that's how we're growing our channel so fast, because people love it. I keep it real, and I do topics on topics that people are asking for versus just make up topics, okay? So they are very real topics to help you guys, all right? And lastly, I'm gonna ask you to turn on your bell notification. And that means that when the videos come in daily, you will be getting the video come in as a notification. So click the bell, select the word all. That means every day they're coming in, you're engaging, you're in it, you're involved in it, and you're really learning the credit. So today is from worst to best credit of which personal loans we should be using. But first, I'm going to give you 3 tips of why you would want to use a personal loan to start with, some of the benefits and some of the reasons why I'm not the greatest proponent of using them in the first place, but I understand they're necessary. The first thing we want to talk about is this. You have to ask yourself why you would want a personal loan, okay? So personal loan, specifically, if you guys have money in savings, I'm going to tell you right away, use the money in your savings account before going to a personal loan. Number 1, let's say that you have credit card debt, okay? And we all know that FICO 10 is coming out. They are going to weigh heavily on personal loans. Now, what I mean by is if you have credit card debt, is you're probably paying high interest, okay? So what you do is typically, because a consolidation loan, that's what we're talking about here, a consolidation loan, is that you would take your credit card debt and you would move it over to a loan. Okay, so we got 4 or 5 credit cards, you got debt on each one of them, right? Say you're at 60, 70, 70, 80, 90% utilization on your cards. It would make sense, if you were responsible, to take the credit card debt, open up a personal loan called a consolidation loan, and then the credit card debt gets moved over to the loan, pays off the credit cards for you, and bing, bang, boom, your credit score drives to the roof, because the utilization on your credit cards is going to weigh much heavier on your credit score than a loan, okay? That's why whenever you get a car, you're 100% utilization, right? You know, you buy a car for $50,000, and now you have a $50,000 loan, but your credit score doesn't get tanked. But try getting a $50,000 credit card and then putting $49,000 on it. Your score is going to drop, significantly. That being said, there's more weight that is put on the revolving, meaning like if you can drop the utilization on your credit cards by having it pay off by a consolidation loan, it is a good move. The downside is if you're not responsible financially, what can happen is you can get the consolidation loan, and then what'll happen is if you're not responsible, you can then go back and use the credit cards. And then what happens? Now you have a payment with the loan and you have payment with credit cards, okay? So if you're responsible, I would recommend doing a consolidation loan to pay off your credit cards. If you're not responsible, continue to pay high interest on your credit cards, okay? So you just have to understand who you are as a person. I would never, tip number 2, never get a personal loan if it is not an emergency, okay? It is not something that typically does really well. Now, if you got a wedding, right, you don't have the money in your savings account, and you have, your daughter's wedding, or you have home improvements, or like I just mentioned, your credit card debt is so high that you're having a hard time paying the monthly payment because it's so ridiculous, it makes sense. But for the most part, if you have the money in savings, I'm always going to go using the money in savings before going to a personal loan. So like you're like, hey, I need $5K, but you have $25K in your savings account, go with this $25K before getting the personal loan. Because the interest rate, tip number 3, don't ever apply for a loan if you have not fixed your credit. You will get higher interest rates than credit cards on a personal loan. I've seen 25%, 27%. I've even seen predator loans up to 400% interest rate. Okay? Can you imagine what that is? That means I get a loan for $500 and now I'm paying back $2,000 for the same loan, for the $500 that they let me borrow. That's called a predator loan. Okay? Cash advance loans. Those are just completely against everything that I'll share with you. What I am going to share with you now is like I promised. Understand that the reason to get a personal loan is for emergency uses only. Maybe you have a wedding. Maybe you do home improvements. It's okay to get a personal loan. Maybe you want to pay off the debt on your credit cards. It's okay to get a consolidation loan. Okay? Those are good moves. Just to get a personal loan to go on vacation, horrible move. To get a payday advance on, before, like a Friday payday advance, you're going to be paying astronomical interest rates, and it's just horrible. It gets into a bad cycle, and I've seen people really go under by getting these kind of personal loans. So you guys heard of Prosper and Best Egg, okay? Tip number one is you're not going to want to get a loan that has origination fees. Okay, so if you ever heard of Prosper and Best Egg, which most people have, if you haven't, they charge a upfront fee called an origination fee. It's also inside the loan. Okay, so I'm going to give you from being the worst credit, and I've selected 3 companies in 2020, 2021 that I feel are going to be the best fit for you if you must get a personal loan. Okay, these are ones that also do not have origination fees, and I have found and did a lot of due diligence. What my clients have found is these companies have worked really, really well for them, and they're relatively easy to get. Again, do not get a personal loan if you have negatives on your credit report. Do not, because you're going to end up paying higher interest rate than you pay for credit cards, and that's going ass backwards. We don't want to do that, okay? So let's look at our credit first. Let's take a look. Do we need a trade line? Let's take a look. Do we need to remove some collections, some charge-offs? Maybe we have a bankruptcy, foreclosure, judgment. We have too many inquiries. We want to look at your credit first, okay, before we go to the personal loan side, for sure. All right. Now, worst credit. If we're going to worst credit first, I'm going to tell you about a company. This takes from bad to fair, okay? It's called Marcus. And Marcus will loan you from $3,500 all the way up to $40,000, okay? And their interest rate's between 7%, but all the way up to 25%, depending on, how bad your credit really is. But Marcus is my first selection for people that have bad to fair credit, okay? So take a look at them, do your research on them. They tend to lend to people that don't have the best credit, okay? Second thing I'm going to be looking at for someone that has fair to good credit is TD Bank, okay? Now, that's what I got my personal loan with. That's also who my car is financed through. And phenomenal company. Even though they are in a different country, they're in Toronto, Canada. The customer service is great, but they are only going to accept middle of the road, right? So like I said, anywhere from fair to good credit is probably going to be somewhere between 650 and 725, 730 range, okay, in terms of credit score. Here, you're looking at a $2,000 loan all the way up to $50,000 loan. And again, 7% interest rate and capped at 25%, depending on where you're at in that scale of credit score I just mentioned. Okay, so that's kind of your middle of the road, TD Bank. I think that's the best selection. They're really easy to get. And again, they go from 2 all the way up to 50,000, depending on how your credit is and your worthiness, all right? Last but not least is called Lightstream, which is the backing behind that is SunTrust. This is the highest I've ever found. This is for people with great credit, okay? You're gonna need to be like a 750 plus. I want you 750 plus, Lightstream credit, SunTrust Bank, and this is going to be a shock to you because they will loan you anywhere between $5,000 all the way up to $100,000 on a personal loan. I've never seen any personal loans up to $100,000, but $5,000 all the way up to $100,000. And this is Lightstream, okay? Again, for excellent credit. So depending on who I'm talking to here and your situation, I wanted to do a video to help you out to make sure that not only you know why not to use personal loans, but some of the benefits that you really want to use them for. Paying off credit card debt is probably my number one reason. As long as you're responsible and know that as soon as the loan pays off your credit cards, in your consolidation loan, which means they take all the debt and they put it onto a loan. Okay, now you have one payment instead of 10 payments on credit cards, which makes it simple. The problem is, don't go back and start using these credit cards again, because that's the biggest mistake what people make on consolidation loans is they start going back to the credit cards. Now they have a payment with their loan, payment with credit cards. Okay, again, if you're doing a wedding or you have to put out $5,000 to $10,000 and you don't have it in savings, then obviously a loan makes more sense than a credit card, because of the simple fact that the interest rates will be lower generally than credit cards. Okay, it does not make sense for vacations, for, look, I'm trying to, anything on the personal side of things. I want to go Christmas shopping. I need an advance from payday loans. I can't make it till next Friday. Try to stretch it out for those type of personal benefit things. Try not to use personal loans or loans in general for those. Okay, so go back to this video a million times if you need to. Look at the three companies, the Marcus, the TD Bank, and the Lightstream. From worst to best credit, I wanted to give you the due diligence I did, and my members who have said these are the best ones as well, that they have found that has helped them out tremendously in tough times and the times that really they could use a personal loan to benefit their credit score. So again, I'm going to go back to number 2. Do not apply for a personal loan with negative remarks. Okay, this is key because you're going to get hosed on interest rates. Even with the ones I just told you, don't do it. Okay, I'm telling you, this is Uncle Mike's telling you this right here. Listen, don't do it. Get your credit straightened up first, then do it. Okay, so if you got bad credit, okay, you got fair to bad credit, you guys are in the 500 to 600, even the early 700, and you're like, look, I need help. Okay, that's what we do. We're going to help you. I've got a program I built for myself. It's called the Credit Game. I was 505 credit score. Okay, today I'm an A27. Been there for 7 years. I built this credit game for myself, and now I share it with the world. So if you want help with credit, this is what we do. We know what to look for, what not to look for, how to find the inaccurate, obsolete, incorrect, erroneous information that is on your credit report, and be able to effectively challenge that information. My VIP vendor is the best in the world in results in 60 days. And also I got the entire platform that goes from what is a credit score all the way up to literally the education of how to remove bankruptcies times 10 by the tricks and trades of really freezing some of the 3 bureaus that most people don't know where bankruptcies come from. I mean, I got the whole education all the way from associates all the way up to doctorate, depending on how you want to get. But the really cool thing about it is this. We're here to help. We got the vendor that has the best credit repair on the planet. You have access for free to the vendor with any of my programs. Okay, we send them a lot of business, and I've worked out a deal so you guys will get the elite credit repair for free with the purchase of any of my products. But the products here are second to none. Okay, because again, I can get you to an 800, but can you maintain it? Anybody can get anybody to an 800. Anybody can promise anything. Okay, most companies are going to drag you out for 12 to 18 months on credit repair. We're getting results in 60 days. So how important is time to you? That's the question. And when you're sick and tired of having bad credit, then you're going to say, you know what? I want to fix my credit because maybe I want a personal loan. Maybe I want high limit credit cards. Maybe I want a new car. Maybe I want a house. Things that you want to do, you can't do because it's holding your life back, because every time you look at your credit score, you're seeing 5, 6, and early 7s. And it's just not going to work. And you're going to be paying cash for everything and stuck into a trap. If you want to get out of that trap, then you need to pick up the phone and call me so I can help you. I'm willing to work with you, but I need you to do the hard work. It's just picking up the phone. 904-420-7772. 904-420-7772. It's Mike from the Credit Game. Thank you guys. I love you. Thank you for being a subscriber. Turn on your bell notification. Smash the like button. I really appreciate you guys. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Until then, give me a call at 904-420-7772 so we can change your life like we've changed thousands of lives in the last 60 days. I'll be waiting on your call. Take care.